Why is it that some people are more successful than others? What can we do in order to be happy, to be more successful, to have more of the things that we want? All of our limitations exist within our own minds, and the worst of all is we feel helpless. Human beings with this incredible brain, they will keep doing what they've always done. They will get into a comfort zone. They will set a series of habits that are not serving their best interests, and they will keep on with those habits, and they will keep doing things that no longer make them happy, and they will keep doing them year after year. And we find that almost everybody today, all of us, through consciously and unconsciously, is held by these twin pillars, these twin bindings of helplessness on the one hand and habit on the other. Is that we try to free ourselves from feeling helpless and we fall right into an old comfort zone. Or we get out of the comfort zone, we get right back into feeling helpless. The only way that we can achieve our true destiny is to break the shackles that are holding us, and the answers to both of them are confidence and courage. Courage and confidence.
Whatever wants to be created, manifested, done, at this moment, to be aligned with that, you need to first accept whatever form this moment takes. Single out this moment. For example, when you are ill, you don't say, I need to accept this illness, the fact that I am ill, that I am suffering from this, because that is a whole conceptual story. All you need to accept is this moment, as it is. There is never actually an illness in this moment. There's only a physical condition. There may be pain, there may be weakness, disability, discomfort. Those things may be there, and that's the only thing you accept. This moment is as it is now.
The greatest single limitation on success in the world today is lack of confidence. It's not that we can't do it. We have capacities and abilities beyond anything that we have ever thought of in our whole life. You know, if you used your talents to the full for the rest of your life, you would never even use a fraction of what you're actually capable of based on all the research that's been done. We are right now functioning, according to Stanford Brain Institute, with about 2% of our brain power. 2%. The rest of it is huge, this huge reserve of brain power, which we're kind of keeping there in case we ever need a little. We got so much of it, it's unbelievable.
If you are stuck in the mud somewhere, you don't say, okay, I am in the mud. I have to accept it. And here I am. I'm not taking any action because I have to accept what is. This moment is already, always as it is. And there's nothing you can do about that. That's what you accept. Then, action that arises has a different energy to it. The will that flows into what you do is no longer egoic. When you have not accepted this moment, the will goes against the universe. That is what the ego does. It is negative. It fights something that it says shouldn't be there. If you use negativity, you are trapped in ego.
There's a common denominator of helplessness and habit, which common denominators are fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance. We're afraid. We're afraid it might not work. We're afraid we might fail. We're afraid it might cost us something. We're afraid of criticism and embarrassment. We're afraid of failure and loss and limitation and lack and ill health and disapproval. We're so afraid. The things that we would do if we weren't afraid are literally beyond belief. And we're afraid of getting out of the comfort zone because of what they might say. What if we did something different, changed jobs, changed careers, started a business, got into something else? What would they say?
The little will has to subside for the more powerful will to flow through and deal with the situation. It creates. It is not isolated from the totality. It is one with the totality. When that operates, another word for that universal will is intelligence. It's only when you look at a situation, completely accept the isness of this moment, and then of course action may be required. Once the opening is there, through acceptance, the next step that you take will be much more powerful.
When you're in your 20s, you don't care what people think. And when you're in your 30s, you're very sensitive to what people think. And then you get into your 40s. And in your 40s, you realize the great truth is that no one was ever thinking about you at all. And that's the fact. Nobody ever thinks about us at all. And there we are. We're so terrified of doing what we really want to do because of what they might say or think. So we stay in that comfort zone. Our natural tendency is to sell ourselves short. Our natural tendency is to think of the reasons why we can't before we think of the reasons why we can. So the key to breaking ourselves out of the comfort zone and breaking ourselves loose of the shackle of helplessness is courage and confidence. We neutralize the antidote to fear and ignorance is desire, and knowledge. And the more we learn about what we want to do and be and have, the more we believe that we can do it. The more we believe that we can do it, the more willing we are to try. And the more willing we are to try, the more likely it is we will succeed. What is the first part of triumph? The first part of triumph is to try.
There's a Buddhist term, right action, that can only arise out of the right state of consciousness.